Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Branston Golf and Country Club. Today's video is going to be about how to stop your slice. I'm going to share with you a two-stage program to get you hitting straighter drives, straighter iron shots. Stay tuned to find out more. As mentioned, today's video is all going to be about stopping your slice. We're going to stop it within two stages. You may even only need the first stage. We'll find that out in a minute, so it will depend on the golfer. But I'm going to be working on stopping your slice. So for me as a right-handed golfer, a slice would be something that is bending to the right and finishing right of my intended line here. So this is a very common fault, and I would say most common with a driver, which is what I'm going to be focusing on, but with one of the exercises I'm going to be actually using an iron. Now this video is relevant whatever that club is. Normally when someone's slicing it, they're slicing it with any clubs. Some slicers, they're hitting more of a pull, so straight left with their shorter irons, and as the club gets longer, the more they bend it to the right of the target. And as I said, I'm going to be sharing with you a two-step drill, if you like, or phases to really stop your slice movement. The first thing we've got to do is club face position. So let me just grab an iron and my impact bag that I'm going to be using here. Could just be a large cushion, as long as you don't like it. The wife doesn't like it at home, something you can actually hit, destroy, great, something pretty old. But I'm just going to be using an impact bag here. And first of all, we're going to be talking about club face position. So if you are a slicer, if that ball is bending to the right of the target, we know the club face is open compared to the swing path. Okay, where it starts tells us whether it was open to the target or not. To actually be able to judge some of this, we need to know that we're hitting it roughly out the center. So if we are hitting the ball out the heel of the golf club, it's going to accentuate that curve to the right of the target for me as a right-handed golfer. So I'd encourage you to look at strike location, and that actually may even be before you do any of this, just with some face tape on or some parcel tape on the head, or you can just spray it with some foot spray and look at strike location, because that can play a big part in where the ball starts and where the ball curves. Let's imagine for the second the ball is coming roughly out the center of the golf club, and it is curving to the right and missing target to the right. We know the club face is open compared to the path. So the first thing I would do is change the club face position, even if that means we now hit straight left to actually hit the pull. So almost to stop hitting the slice to the right, we've almost got to learn to pull the ball straight left initially. That means we're releasing it better and actually starting to square or even close the club face, whereas slicers are always compensating with that face more open, often because the path is swinging out to in, and the compensation is to leave that club face open, and we get that glancing blow and that ball curving off right to target. What I want you to fix first of all is club face, and that sounds a little strange to most golfers, but if you have been returning with the club face open, aiming out to the right of the target to compensate for the out to in swing, and we just changed the path to be more in to out, so we encouraged a swing that was going more this way with that open club face, you just end up hitting a push slice. So the ball starts right and high and curves further that way, and it makes it a lot harder. I would initially work on club face closure. Now we could close the club face with hands and arms, and I have talked about this quite a bit before, obviously in some release videos. It's a big, important part of the golf swing that gets talked about a lot, but we can close the club face from hands and arms, but it's very hard to create consistency from there. We can generate some speed, but it's very hard to develop some consistency of club face. The club face definitely is closing, but we don't want it closing, in my opinion, that quickly. But we want to feel that the closure is happening with our body. So what I would do is I would put the impact bag about 2 feet ahead of where the golf ball would have been. So I've got it a couple of feet, or it could, as I said, be a cushion of some kind. And what I want to feel like I'm doing in some little small movements is actually getting the toe part of the golf club hitting the bag first. Because if you have been fading, slicing that ball out to the right of the target for a right-handed golfer, we know that club face is open to your path. Let's work on closing it first of all. And rather than it just being hands, feel like there is body rotation and the hands are actually reacting, or the arms are reacting to what my body's doing. But I'm trying to get the toe of the golf club to feel like it is hitting the bag. It's hitting the top of the bag because obviously it's rising by now, but I'm getting that toe of the golf club striking the bag or skimming the bag first. I'm not hitting it this way with an open face where I'm going to feel like I'm going to the heel striking the bag first or square on. There should have been rotation, club face closure, and I'm trying to feel like it is coming from my body rotating and my arms responding. So once I've done some of those, by all means I can put it into a longer swing, a longer movement, but really trying to get that feeling of the toe of the golf club catching up and passing the heel to actually strike the bag first. And I'm going to hit these more with a driver now, tee one up and just do some a little half swing, feeling that same release pattern. Now this is the bit where you'll know whether you're a 1 or a 2 phase to stop your slice. So if you start now hitting them straight left, so if you're closing the club face better but the ball's going straight left, the second phase is changing the swing path. If you close the club face better through this drill and you start hitting them straight, you only needed that one thing, so it's just club face for you. And if that is the case, you would have actually been hitting more of a push slice than a slice. So the ball would have been going right and curving further right, and it would only be because of club face position your path would be good. So if you start hitting it straight, because we're getting this better club face closure, then obviously that's the only thing you need to do. But if you turn that slice into a pull that goes straight left, which is what I'm going to demonstrate now, so a player that's swinging on an out to in path, but we square the club face, we're expecting it to go straight left. So I'm just going to do a little quarter or half swing. So if that ball goes, I probably could have done that a little bit more, but straight left to target, we are now starting to square up that club face to our path. We can then work on changing the swing path to be more in to out. The first stage is definitely club face, not path. Trust me on that. I've tried both with golfers before a long time ago, and changing the path first does not work. If that player's got that open face and you try and swing more and more in to out to the right of the target, they just leave that face more and more open. You've got to fix the club face first of all, even if that means it's a straight pull left, before we can change the path. In terms of the path, now there's a number of drills you could do, a lot of simple drills. What I'm going to do here is just involving a tour stick. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the tour stick on the ground behind us, and we're going to aim that tour stick more out. We're going to exaggerate it. It's definitely aiming out to the right of the target here. And all I'm going to be doing, so I've worked, obviously I need to work longer on that club face closure from my body rotation first, and I'm hitting pull, pull, pull. Do it for a while. Keep consistently hitting it left to target with any golf club, and then we can start to work on the swing path. Now, I'm not going to be whipping the club around my body to change the path. I'm going to be making my normal backswing, but on the downswing, I'm going to feel like I get the club more married up with the cane on the ground. So you can see here that my club is actually aiming out to the right of the target. If you are a two-step change, so you're hitting that pull, you are getting the club over here. So you can see how that's pointing more to the left of the target. So we're going to exaggerate. We wouldn't do it this much in the movement, but you're not going to. You can feel as much as you can, but we're not going to get it into this extreme position if you've been someone who's been very much out to win. So I just feel like I try and match that club position up with the shaft or the cane on the ground pre-impact, so it's feeling like my club is swinging much more from in to out. Remember, change the club face first, the path second. So after some rehearsals of that, I'm just going to leave that cane on the ground and use it as a sensation, use it as a feeling. So I got that ball starting, I was exaggerating, but I got that ball starting right of target to bend back, and it's just missed the fairway to the left of the target. But I was trying to feel like I could match that shaft up on the downswing. That wasn't the backswing change. So it's a short, quick video to fix your slice, this one, but as I said, stage one would be club face. If you then start hitting it straight, that's all you need. You're a 1 fix. If you're a 2 fix, it's changing the club face first, the path second. I know if you can follow these 2 steps, or maybe that 1 step, it's going to stop your slice, that destructive shot for a right-handed golfer out to the right of the target. If you did enjoy the content of the video, if it has helped your golf, please hit us with a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel to show your support for the TruGolf Academy. Never miss a video again. There's at least 2 instructional videos a week. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.